So this is what I again edited it because the people are saying it's not correct to. You can see the screen, right?
Yes, screen is visible.
Yeah. So the question is, we have 4 node cluster. Name of the topic is bus. Number of partition is 3. Replication factor of bus is 2, and 3 producers and 2 consumers. Okay. So this is what based on that somebody already sent some handwritten image, so it was easier. So I just made like this, and actually I connected this to each partition, but then people told it's wrong. Then I checked on Monica. Monica also told it cannot connect to the partition directly. It's decided by the something. So we just need to connect to this part only. So we have the three producers. They mentioned 3 producers, right? So I put the 3 producers with producer 1 Kafka connector. Each one is connecting using Kafka connector, right? So that connectors are here, and it is pushing the data to this one, to the broker. Broker is the service. So we have 4 servers or 4 nodes. So I made this 4 nodes like this. So 4 servers
But
actually.
here three partitions consecutively 2 places came on.
Sorry.
Bus partition 2, then bus partition 3. Come down below a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah, be there. See, bus partition 1, replica 1. Okay, that is bus partition 2 again in that utilization. Means what?
Yeah, we have the partition. They have mentioned 3 partitions. Okay.
Yeah.
So partition is this bus is actually bus means a table in Kafka. So bus is a table in Kafka. Table in Kafka is called topic in Kafka. What is it? Table in Kafka is called a topic, and the name of the topic they have mentioned is bus. Name of the topic they mentioned here is bus. Okay. Is that clear, or is that what you are asking?
See, there.
But you are showing only replica.
What you have?
Replica, why? There is a bus partition 1 here, and it's a replica is in the second node, right? We cannot, and then we have bus partition 2 here, and its replication is in the third node, and we have bus partition 3 here, and its replication in the fourth node, right? So because one node cannot have partition and its replica, the replica has to be in a different node. So we have, they have mentioned 4 nodes and 3 partitions. So for this table called topic, bus, for this topic called bus, we are partitioning into 3, so that each partition will be in separate nodes and its replica will be in a different node. Is that clear or what? And they mentioned 2 replications, so we cannot have more than 2. So the replication topic. Sudeep, is okay?
Yeah. So first bus partition 1 replica you are keeping 7 nodes. Second one keeping third one is keeping 4.
Yeah, because in the see, for example, here I can put the bus partition 2 also here. That's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, we can put anywhere this one, but the only thing is the replica should not be in the same node as what you are having the main one. So here I cannot put partition 1 replica. The reason is, if this node goes down, then this whole partition is lost, main and backup.
We can have 3 replica of 1 partition, right?
Sorry?
As per we can have for 1 partition 3 replica, right?
1 partition 3 replica.
Yeah, for example, for bus partition 1 we have
no,
given
here
the
they
replica
already mentioned they already mentioned replication factor is 2.
Okay.
In the question they already mentioned it, right? Number of partitions is 3 and replication factor is 2.
So there will be 2 copies of partition, right?
Yeah, as they mentioned, it's a replication factor 2. We have to keep total 2 copies. That's my understanding, right?
No, you told that the Kafka connector will go up to broker outside connection. But while from broker to consumer going, it is from the inside node you have connected. Is it like that?
As per my understanding, the consumer can connect to only particular partition, like this partition and some other partition. It cannot connect to the partition of two. So
I
I'm
just sent a diagram in the message. You can see how it is connected.
I'm just trying to figure out the correct method. Okay.
I think consumer can connect to any other whenever he require the data, right? It
But
should not be any.
should not go to the replica. That's the point.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. For example,
That is yeah.
For example, partition 1 and its replica cannot be connected to the same consumer. So it will be duplication of data.
Okay.
I think the one change required here is it's a 4-node cluster, right? We need to have 4 nodes.
Yeah,
Four brokers.
4 node we already have, no?
4 brokers.
Yeah, this is four brokers. That's
Brokers.
yeah, this
Four
is a node.
brokers, right?
Yeah.
No, this is topic.
Okay, let's
Broker
make
is a
this
node.
like a broker cluster.
Yeah, broker is the node.
Broker is a node
Yes.
and bus is a topic.
So this is the node 1. Okay.
Topic.
Node 1.
No. Okay. We can change that then. I think. Then,
Uh,
but I didn't.
Please scroll down the site website. Diagram is given. That is better representation actually. Please
Yeah.
scroll down. Leave it this
This also
diagram.
same. Okay.
This one.
So we have
Here partition 0,
This is
broker
also-
1, broker 2, broker 3, and topic 1, topic 2, partition 0, partition 1, partition 2.
That means here broker 1 is the node. Broker 1, 2, 3 is the node. So 3 nodes are there, and each node having a partition 0, 1 and 2, and topic 1, 2, but many topics 1, 2.
The same topic is in different nodes, no? 3 nodes is having the same topic.
Yeah, then replication is 3.
Yeah. Replication is 3 actually. Yeah.
But what is that within the partition 0 something again they have, can we zoom in this one within the partition something also linked list kind of thing small, can you little bit bigger you can do, that will read out what
So
is written there.
Replica is written. Yeah, it's
Replica.
the leader, then replica 1, replica 2. Leader means
What
because
is that actually?
this is leader.
What is leader? It is written leader.
Yeah, leader. Then here
Leader
replica
node is
1.
having, yeah.
That is on the main, I think. Leader is the first one, and its replica is the 2 second node and third node. That's why it is made, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so to one replica out of any would be the leader. So leader concept is very important in Kafka. So let's say we have, only one replica, then the same would be, like single node cluster. So it would be leader as well as the normal replica. Then if there are 2, then one would be leader and another would be normal replica. If 3, then yeah. So the leader is one who is knowing that where are other replica available for this particular whatever the data is topic, we can say.
Yeah,
Partition.
one of the
Partition.
replicas is designated as a leader, which is responsible for handling all the read-write requests for the partition.
That means suppose there are 3 nodes are there.
Handling, I think handling would not be a correct word over here, because that is something managed by then Kafka. But
Okay.
it is having the just like something metadata kind of information that the where are, okay, one replica I am available over here, but apart from me there are two more guys. So, and these guys detail are this. That's like.
Yeah, right. So broker 1 is having partition 0, then the same is replicated under broker 2, under broker 3, right?
This is 3 topics.
Same way partition 1 is also replicated under broker 2 and 3.
Yeah, even 2 topics are there is replicated.
But which 2 topics are there for each? First one, 2 topics for everybody is there.
Yeah, topics can be anyone. Maybe n number of topics they can put it in each node. Yeah.
Right. That can
Its
be
partition is the leader here. The pink colors are the leader. So broker 1 is leader, having the leader partition for 0. Broker 2 having the leader partition for partition 2. Other has replicas, and that's why the color notation is pink color there.
Yes,
Broker 3 is partition
Yes.
1 is the leader, and remain replicas in other brokers.
Also, one more observation, Manoj, like if you see the arrows that are pointing to consumer are coming out of the broker.
out of the cluster. Out of the cluster.
Yeah, sorry, out of the cluster. And
Not
directly to
not from any node. Yeah.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking.
But that if you check on internet, there is so many you can find it's having, see the arrows here. It's coming from straight away from the partitions.
So consumer is linked directly to the partition.
Yeah, whereas in the producer it's not getting. Producer is also somewhere is mentioned linked. That's why I had the initial. It was only the only criteria was that the producer should not link to the each duplicate partitions. That what you say?
No, Manoj, one consumer can connect to multiple topics. Why? Because let's say you have.
That is okay. That's right. Multiple topics we can connect, even multiple partitions we can connect, but not to the same partition copy. Like partition 1 and partition 1 copy. It is not allowed. That's clearly mentioned in their document somewhere.
Okay.
And-
Okay.
You got it, no? Because
this
this is a
same-
live stream. So in the live stream, we have to avoid the duplication. So even the producer is not allowed to connect to directly to the partition and its copy. It's only connected to a partition, and the copy is done by the Kafka system. Similarly, a consumer is only allowed to connect to a particular partition, not to its copy. Or you can connect to the copy, but not to its original partition. Either one you had to only. Otherwise, when it's asked the information, this both of them will be sending the same information.
Sorry. So the image that you are referring to, similar image I have pasted, that elaborates better actually.
It's similar to our DB only. The DB will be say table will be partitioned, and when you from any source the data comes in or any data flow comes in, it automatically partition based on that column and place the data, right? Similarly, there are 3 producer, which is the source. When it sends the data, it will do the partition. System itself will do the partition and place it accordingly.
Okay.
So from producer 1, producer 2 and producer 3 also it can go to partition 1. Because it will be based on how it partition the data.
Yeah, that's okay, but it's not meant. They will not go to the copy also. I mean, straight away. Somewhere it was mentioned, I guess. Yeah. From the producer, will go to that partition 1, 2, 3, wherever is required, but it will not go to the copy of that partition. Something like this.
So, correct. I think they were saying, right? I think we have a leader. So, leader is someone who is the initial copy. So, it will always coordinate with the leader one. The replica is the follower, which will not connect with any consumer. I think this is the same thing like I think whatever like I think we are saying, right? I think
It's not required that we should connect to the main. We can connect to the copy also. That's okay, but it should not connect to both of them. That's the only criteria which is even the consumer it can connect to any topic, any partition, but it should not go to the duplicate and the main same time. Here it's mentioned. I don't understand this one. How can we relate to our one? So So should we remove this one? It's creating so much confusion, or because here I clearly what I did it from this consumer one is able to connect to the partition 1 and 2 and 3. It will get all data from the partition 1, 2 and 3. This one will get from 1, 2 here from here and 3 from here. So both of them are getting all the partitions data. This is how I connected to it, and it's not getting a duplicate copy. Should we go with this or with the simple diagram, like just connect to the broker and finish that?
This seems okay to me, Manoj.
Yeah, okay.
Whatever I have learned so far, even though I am not Kafka SME, but yeah. As per my
so Veena,
for this question,
yeah. So Veena, this one is okay, or we have to change anything here?
No, this looks fine.
It looks fine.
Manoj,
Okay.
I just pinged you one link. Can you open that?
Yeah, sure.
So here actually everywhere you would have given node number, because first one only given node 1, but remaining node you did not put
Yeah,
node.
because that time someone asked me to go to some link, so I didn't get the time to.
Commonality should be there for everywhere. So that
only one or two improvisation you can do over here.
This is right, yeah.
One thing is you need to draw a line from partition 2 to both consumer groups.
It's already there,
partition
no?
partition 2 to both consumers.
Both are two. It's two different consumer groups, right?
It's already there, no, Veena?
Right side.
If it is a sync,
Partition 2, this 2 is going here and this 2 is coming here, no?
How we have yes, actually this is bus partition 1 and partition 2. Based on what actually this grouping?
See, the only thing is we should not have the duplicate. So from partition 1 and partition 1
Okay.
duplicate, this should not go together to one group.
Okay.
So that's the only
Okay,
criteria.
it's like two
Yeah.
nodes. Yeah, two nodes are serving one consumer group, and other two nodes are serving to the second consumer group.
Yeah, this is what I have thought about. Yeah. Only thing is only the thing. Only the duplication should not happen. Otherwise, we can connect in this way. Even the input somewhere I read like this will not go to that. This should not. It will be connected to all the partitions, but it should not go to the duplicated partition. That's why I initially connected to inside, but then I found it's not proper. They are mentioning it in the for example, the Monica was saying a Kafka producer can connect to a specific topic, but it does not connect to a specific partition within the topic. The Kafka broker is responsible for assigning partition to the producers, and it uses a partitioning strategy to determine. So it's better to. So this is the correct one. You should not connect to inside. It's done by the broker itself, broker, zookeeper, and all. But initially I was trying to map the data path. That was the mistake I did. But this is okay, I think. And Veena, is this okay? No.
Down the line, you have kept a 4-node broker cluster. Is it required to write there? Because that is the question only it is mentioned.
Yeah, right.
It can. That's not actually.
Yeah.
Within the cluster you kept, no?
Yeah.
That is what. But whether that also you should not write within that box itself. That is the question. You can keep it to outside only, outside of the picture.
Okay. That will also do. Where is the text? Okay, yeah. Maybe we can post. Okay, then yeah, there was some link we need to open, right? Wait, we'll just go through this. Yeah, first is the okay. How many consumer groups can be created for this configuration? Now this is one other question. Okay, let me just check this. So how many consumer groups we can have? So
My guess, as many consumer groups as the number of partitions.
but there is a limit here. They mentioned 2 consumers. Okay, they have given only 2 consumers.
Okay.
Only one then.
Only no, you can have 2, no, because 2 consumers. Each consumer can be in one group, no.
Yeah. Except
Right?
Yeah, so these groups are nothing but, let's say one is developer team and another one is some other team. So the data will be restricted within the the purpose can be like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the third one is the question: what is the maximum number of consumers that each consumer group can have while ensuring maximum parallelism? So I have mentioned as there are 2 consumers and 3 partitions, and as Kafka does not allow a consumer to read and process from same partition simultaneously, hence maximum possible consumers is 3, because we have only 3 partitions. And why the partition? To make it scalable and parallel processing. So partition 1 to one consumer, partition 2 to another consumer, partition 3 to another consumer. Like that we can have 3 consumers, but they have given us only 2. So the maximum what we can put is maximum number of consumers. Okay, but here they have mentioned what is the maximum number of consumers that each consumer group can have. So we can have 3 each. That's what I mentioned here. That's what I think Janardhan was saying, right?
No, one group can have any number of users, right?
Any number of not users. It's consumers. Consumer means it's like a PC or something, which will be having the load of parallel processing. That's a question. Consumer is not the user actually.
Not the user, but I'm thinking from monitoring perspective. Let's say in the consumer one we have Splunk, we have Nagios XI, one we have some. So like this, there can be n number of.
Yeah, n number of
all these are monitoring.
Yeah.
All these are monitoring. So there will be monitoring consumer group, and within the group they will be creating their own dashboards.
Yeah.
Could be like that situation.
Yeah, that can be n number of consumers, but what the question is, what is the maximum number of consumers that each consumer can have while ensuring maximum parallelism? This is a keyword, parallelism. So parallelism means there are 3 partitions and we can parallelly process 3 consumers. Whatever.
But parallelism, sorry, I'm not sure about Kafka, but parallelism depends upon number of slices. Node can have multiple slices, right? Parallelism of node depends upon number of CPUs or virtual CPUs. Each CPU can provide 2 processes in parallel, or one virtual CPU equal to one path. So as many number of virtual CPUs will be there, those many number of parallel paths can be there. So parallelism will be that way.
Yeah, in this case, the maximum number of parallel consumers are limited by the partitions in that topic.
Okay, got it. Each partition represents that path.
For example,
here, okay.
If there is 500 partitions of a topic, then there can be maximum 500 consumers working in parallel to process that 500 topic partition. So in that way we can say that is equal to the number of partitions.
Okay.
Yeah, so 3 is the answer then?
Yeah, 3 number of partitions is the answer actually. If you are asking maximum number, then that is the answer.
Got it.
Yeah. And what's the number of maximum number of server failures? So if one server fails, for example this fails, we have 2 partition 1 is available here also, right? So it will work.
So at least one should be available, so 2 can fail, right?
If this and this fails, but one is gone, no? So they have given one Veena has mentioned here, number of brokers minus 1 divided by replication factor. We have
Okay.
number of brokers is 4, minus 1 is 3, replication factor is 2, so 1.5. 1.5 we have to make it like one server, and that's clear because if one fails,
1.5 should be 2, right?
yeah. See, if you do in that way, what happens is, if you remove these two, then one is gone. Partition 1 is gone. You will lose data.
Okay.
What if
So
one
you have
and
to take the
four is
lower
gone?
one. Huh?
Yeah, got it. Lower one.
Node 2 and 4 is gone, like node number 1 and 4. Then still we can recover the data from 2 and 3, right? So maximum number of failures is 2, right? Because node 1 and node 4 can go down. Still we are good.
Yeah, right. So I think that is clear now, right? Then Veena has mentioned something. Let us go to this link.
Then answer is 1 or 2. Finally 1 and 4 if I take means it will be okay, na? Or
See, if you see this one, my system is bit okay. If you see this one, what happens is, if node 1 is failed, there is one partition, right? Partition 1 is here, right? That partition 1 we can get it from the replica of that one. So one node failure is okay. If you check anything, for example node 3, again 2 is available here and 3 is available here. So one node failure is okay. But if two nodes
So
are
here
failing,
technically we can say one node failure tolerance we have.
yeah. But as per the numericals, we found 1.5. But 1.5 server is nothing. We cannot do anything with 1.5 server, right? 1.5 servers. How can you manage, right? So either it has to be 2 or 1. But if you take it 2, then there will be a partition loss. So we have to take the lower value. So 1.5 means you have to take one server.
Actually, broke.
Is this clear to everyone? Or Sudeep?
Yeah, only one thing I want to mention over here is that Manoj, normally this topic we represent with this linked one, this cylinder image. Okay, so that is only you can add one more thing.
no, actually what I understood is that if node 1 suppose it fails,
this
also node 2 is still there, so it can be managed. But node 3 new partition is there, so node 3 even goes, node 4 if there means still we can manage, you know, pass partition.
No.
How many partitions?
So
how many nodes failure are you looking at, Sudeep?
2.
2. Okay, which ones?
1 gone and suppose 3 gone.
Okay, 1 gone means the partition 1 main is gone, but 2 we have. Okay. Then
Okay.
Then this one
3
is gone,
suppose
right?
gone.
So he may be looking for that consumer group 1 is being served by one node and consumer group 2 is being served by second node or one more node. So two more node if
Is it
we
possible,
lose.
Out of 3 and 4 suppose 1 is gone also.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. In this case, okay. Yeah. That's why the answer came as 1.5, no?
It will be around 2, I think 2 node failure means still tolerable, I think.
No, you see this one. These two are failed. Okay, node 1 and node 2 are failed.
Not 2. See, out of first 2 or first node suppose gone, so still we can, because replica is in second node, so we can manage it.
Yeah, that's okay. But this node failure is not based on our decision. No, it fails by itself. So suppose node 1 and 2 failed, then how will you do this replica thing? Partition 1 is gone, right?
No, 1 and 2 cannot go, but because he is telling what any one node failed means which node failed, that we cannot. But if we take out of first 2 1 node gone, then we can have a replica, so it still we can manage replica. Again 3 and 4 out of that, if anyone is gone, other is there.
See, this answer is like what is the maximum number of server failures that this setup can handle. If I say 2 servers can go down, and if these 2 goes down, how will this handle it?
No, not first two.
No, how can you say not first two, right?
So that also matters.
It's not dependent on our.
No, I thought that if
No, actually, your
specifically
point
when
is
they-
okay, but
Hey Manoj,
Yeah.
we discussed this right yesterday.
yeah, we discussed
This is the
it,
same
but
question.
yeah, we discussed it, but there was some confusion. That's why.
Oh, okay, fine.
Where are you? I cannot see you. Where is? Oh, you came.
Oh no, actually I'm traveling. I will reach in 10-15 minutes, so I will join.
Usually you have the name Deshpande Yogesh, right?
Yes.
Okay, now you are coming as Yogesh Lamika.
Lakshmikant.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm doing
I
data
don't know
science
what
on
name
the
it
name.
should.
Okay.
Yeah, it's my middle name. Yeah.
So this is okay. This is done, or is it fine? So Veena sent one. Let us see this one also. This is this one. What is this? Producer is going to the
This
party.
is just a conceptual diagram. So when we say topic, right, I was mentioning, right, from the same producer, it can go to any partition.
Yeah, right. Partition 1, 2, 3. That's okay, but not partition 1 replica. That's what I was mentioning.
Correct. It will go to leader, and from leader it will get replicated.
Exactly.
This,
yeah, that's the confusion I made actually in the first diagram. Now this is clear, because here they didn't mention any partition this copy. So yeah, this is exactly what we need, I think. So this was 0, 1, 2 is the index that will be getting generated, and then it's going to the leader, right? So leader is the one who is asking this producers to connect to the which partition, right? Is that the understanding, or
correct?
Yeah. So then leader will okay, it's going to P1, P2 means what?
That is the partition 1, 2, 3.
This partition 1. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Then replica 1. See, inside is the replica. Okay. Replica 1, replica 2, replica 3. Oh, so within this one is a replica. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And the consumer. Yeah, this is more clear, right? So
But ideally, replica of that particular partition should not be in the same server, right? It should be in the
correct.
Yeah,
It will be from.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly. I missed that one. Yeah.
I think. No, what I think here, they just give replica 1, replica 2, and replica 3, right? Instead of they should tell like a replica of P2 or P1 like that. It will be more clear, right?
Yeah, then it will be more clear. Yeah.
Because in the server 1, P1 and maybe replica of P2. Then server 2, P2 and maybe the replica of P3, right? Like this. And because the same partition replica cannot have in this on the same server.
Here they mentioned it like that. To balance, if the admin teacher and placement cluster to make available. To balance a load in each program stores one or more of those partitions. Okay. So this diagram we need to modify in the output, maybe, right? It's creating confusion which to take, or
To separate this partition replica and leader.
We are showing the consumer group 1, group 2. Okay. They did not ask about showing to consumer groups also here?
No, I just put it for my understanding.
Okay.
So I mentioned push data, pull data also, so that we know this one is like that. Otherwise we have to refer somewhere else for all this. So from here.
And Manoj, one more for pull data you have mentioned. So it could be both type of transfer. It could be pull and push. Depends upon the client that what kind of data transmission it accept. It will pull or push. So both approach can be over there.
No, actually it
In Kafka, not publish, subscribe, right?
Yeah, it has to be pull only in this side, push from this side. It's Kafka architecture is like that. That's what I read some.
Yes, you are right. Push and pull in this.
Push and pull both. There are many applications they don't accept. They will request when it is required.
But how the consumer will push the data? Larger data. They will push not much data, right?
No, consumer will when they will request it is pull. When they don't request it and automatically continuous data is coming, that is pull, right?
No, that is like a stream line, right?
This is public subscriber interacts only, because in these cases consumer only will pull, because he will register thereafter once anything changes happens there, he will only pull the data.
Yeah, see, it's mentioned here. Consumer ask data from broker. Producer will send to broker. Consumer asks the data from broker. That's why called the push and pull.
That's true. It's like a pub sub, no? Like producers are only pushing the data to the broker, and consumers, they are supposed to pull data from broker.
Yeah. So this is what that I was making notes from what Yogesh sent that link, no? So this is from that only, that YouTube.
That is good, no?
Yeah, that's
easy,
really very simple and very nice.
Very well.
Yeah, it's very simple. And
yeah.
We should have gone through this a long time back, actually.
No, it always happens like this, Manoj, when we study in exam duration.
Yeah, really.
That time we could have scored better if we would have gone through this matter before. Or
yeah, even but I don't like to study for exam, actually. I like to study with for fun only.
Yogesh bhai, can you send that link again? Actually, I was not yesterday in the call. If it is okay for you.
Yeah.
Okay, now
I will share in some time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what we can do now? Can Veena take it up, or Veena was asking something to do, right?
Yeah, Manoj, I can share.
Yeah.
I want to confuse you more. We will cover the first question, but just wanted to show you. It's a 10-node cluster. Number of partitions 4. 7 producers, 5 consumers. Replication factor 3.
Say another question.
Another paper. This came in makeup.
You want to do this now, or we can do it homework and share it offline?
We can do it later.
Yeah, we can. You can share it on the WhatsApp. Okay, we will put it.
Okay.
And this should be easier, right? Or anyone wants to take this now, or we can go ahead with other? Because I think we know something about this, no?
I think it's very similar, so better if we practice it, then it will help.
Yeah, we will practice and put it in the WhatsApp, okay? After this session, we will draw something on this, and Veena, just go, okay, let me take a screenshot and put it. Can you scroll a bit? Yeah, okay. Let me just take a snip. Okay, fine.
So we can expect such a question, right? For a given description, we are going to build some like.
Yeah, they are giving a chance us to become architect.
Yeah. It's actually interesting, actually.
And believe me,
I see these are easy marks.
yeah, and it would be, these question answer cannot be, same. And there is no definition of perfect. It can be near perfect or like somewhat perfect, because everyone thinks very differently.
Yeah.
What about question 1 in this paper?
Have we covered this? This is final exam, I think, comprehensive.
Okay.
Is this covered?
Every day, multinational days. While using Kafka, most and continuous ETL pipeline, they can convert
Part string.
which scenario? Okay. So be ready for complete scenario based questions. But Spark didn't covered yet, is it?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I am thinking only till Apache Kafka. That's it. So Flume will be there. Flume and Apache Kafka. This is what.
Flink is also not covered, right? Flink is also next. Flink also.
Yeah, Flink is after that. Yes.
Storm also post midsum only, right?
Yes. Let me go through this.
Flume was covered in webinar.
Flume was covered. Yes, Flume, not
this
Flink.
Is Flink.
But this is Flink.
And we had only one webinar, right?
Yes, one was cancelled. Yeah, only it was related to
Kinesis.
Yeah, Kinesis.
Do we have Kinesis for this exam?
Yeah, there was one question, right? Means in the yesterday session.
Okay.
Even the assignment also we had, right?
Yeah.
So I have handout and is per this on the session 8 they are stopping at Apache Kafka, MongoDB, Cassandra. So they stopped over there. Apache Zookeeper they have done, Kafka, MongoDB, Cassandra. That's it. Apache Spark, Flink, everything will come after this next session, session 9. So seems like this is comprehensive paper.
Yeah. I took it from Whitson fault only, but some of it seems to be comprehensive.
Yeah. This is mid semester. Yeah, this is mid semester only.
I have one question. Whatever is given in the handout, 1 to 6 contact hour, has that been completed? I've not gone through all the lectures, so if you people have gone through the topics.
Even I have also not joined the session, but I accepted that everything till session 8 completed.
Okay.
Because anyhow they will put questions till that. In session 8 they have Kafka, and Kafka there is 100% question. So that's why I'm saying that they will consider till session 8.
Okay. The last topic is about NoSQL storage system.
Yes.
Storage of streaming data. All this is there.
Yeah, last topic is that MongoDB and Cassandra.
Also, there was one question on storage, so.
Oh, that is there. Okay.
So split brain problem will be handled in distributed system. What is split brain?
The way I understand split brain is nothing but just connection lost between two machines or two clusters. If I'm not wrong. Yeah, loss of connectivity. Two groups.
Come again?
So the way, if you ask me like what is split brain problem, is that just there is a connectivity loss between two groups. Means two systems are there, or say two clusters are there, and they just lost their connectivity. And then there is a quorum algorithm which elects a new leader among them. So that's what I think the split brain problem is.
Yeah, there's a inconsistency between the data and during some cluster issues. No, different nodes are managed same data and coming as an inconsistent.
Yeah.
So how you manage that one? Yeah. So now this is not in a distributed system. We have different brains sitting across the globe, right? So all the data coming from different brains are, maybe if it's inconsistent, then how would you do that? Make it consistent. It's not centralized, so that's why the word split brain. So answer is, yeah. No, so
what is split brain means? What exactly here it is trying?
it's like a hardware issues or power outage, network connectivity issues, switch failures, flapping, network partition. All these.
So any failure,
yeah.
anything failure kind of thing.
Yeah, because so many nodes are there, no? So each node is a brain, and when,
node and the connectivity also.
Yeah. So everything is processed in these nodes and all, and finally it has to be centralized, consistent. But due to these failures, data may not be consistent. So this is called split brain issue. Yeah. So
Manoj, what I understood, whenever they talk about brain, then mostly they talk about master node, because master node is the one who hold all the like cluster related information metadata.
Oh, scenario in which distributed system has two or more leaders is called a split brain.
Oh, okay, that's nice. Can you make a PDF or send the link? I will make a PDF of this.
ये दरवाजा बहुत मारता है, वो एक टूटने के लिए तैयार हो गया, और ये भी मेरे को लग रहा है यही हाल होने वाला है। हाँ गुड, अब तो आपकी आईडी भी हो गई बेटे। अच्छा ला जा, फूक मार दो, आजा। अच्छा फूक मारते से ही हो जाता है मेरे पास।
Rakesh, you are speaking.
Oh, sorry.
No issue when we all are married.
Yeah, family बहुत sacrifice कर रही है।
I understand.
Right. Thanks to work from home.
Sorry to say, but we are not work from home and still after office we have to
band, quality time is handling.
Work from home means full all hours, office hours.
So what is this?
Work from
Veena, what is finally this one? Are you able to explain something?
Split brain.
Thing you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, what we understood from this one is this PDF. I mean, the
Question is how it will be handled in distributed system.
So Zookeeper, I think Zookeeper is best friend.
Okay.
So one way, I'm talking in very generic things. One could be instead of single master node, we can maintain multi-master node, multi-master node cluster. And so the second thing, as we have Zookeeper for this kind of things.
Yeah, I think one is. Yeah, I think they have mentioned the problem and solution here. So one is, as Rakesh mentioned, it is Zookeeper to ensure that only one name node is active at any time. An epoch number is maintained as part of every transaction ID to reflect the name node generation. One generic solution they have given is to have this epoch number. Whenever a leader is selected, generate a number and it will be generated incrementally. So this means that if all leader has a generation number of 1, the new one will have 2. This generation number is included in every request that is sent from leader to other nodes. This way, nodes can now easily differentiate real leader by simply trusting the leader with highest number. The generation number should be persisted on the disk so that it remains available after the server reboot. One way is to store it with every entry in the write ahead log. So it will basically generate a number. The first leader will have 1. When it goes down, it will assign a leader. It will not give the same number. It will give a new number, which is higher than the old. And all the nodes will take it based on the highest value. So even if the other server comes back, right, it will not get confused which is the leader. It will always go with the max value as the leader.
Here I didn't understand how maximum number will ensure that this is the leader.
Number. This number is included in every request that is sent from leader to other nodes. So when leader send a request to other node, it will see whether it's the maximum number. So even if the old server is rebooted, it will not take any requests from them. It will go with the 2 only.
So how is the election happening?
So only request from the highest leader with highest number it will take. So that whenever a request is sent, right, this number, epoch number is also be passed. So it will take some time. Once the system comes online, right, it will not realize that it is not the leader immediately. So it will take some time for it. So by till that point of time, there are two leaders, right?
So if one goes down, or in the initial stage of the first one to come online is the leader. So in that case, then if it goes down, how is the second one coming online? It will. Which one will come online?
It will be elected. The new leader will be elected.
Yeah. So how is the election happening? Any idea on that?
No, that is again from some algorithms, internal algorithms, and one more thing, like one node is coming up. So now in distributed environment we have auto scaling and replica count always maintained. So the one node, and also it depends upon what kind of network, network latency and server configuration, everything matter over there for those algorithms. So then they calculate and then decide, okay, this could be my next leader or next name node, master node.
Okay, so in the Monica it's mentioned similar. It mentioned in Kafka the leader of the part for a partition is selected through a process called leader selection. The leader selection process is triggered when the current leader fails or when a new topic partition is created. The process involves the brokers exchanging information about their current state and the partition state, and then electing a new leader based on criteria such as broker with most up-to-date data or highest broker ID. So these two are the criteria: highest broker ID or the broker with the most up-to-date data. And somewhere else is which okay. Somewhere else is
I'm just
the highest. Yeah. You were saying something?
I just pinged one link as well. What it says, when a new topic is created, Kafka runs its leader election algorithm to figure out, and whenever the first replica is present on the node, that node it will start as a leader one.
Yeah, for leader that is only so first replica by default leader
For that topic.
for that topic. Sure.
Okay. Yeah. It's okay.
Is this on?
Yeah, that's enough, right? Yeah. So something you're showing now is what is the approach?
Yogesh mentioned he shared a link. Okay, perfect. I think I opened the same only.
So the leader will not take the leadership back. Auto leader rebalance is enabled.
Just we need to
Sorry, what is the issue?
we need to have the setting rebalance auto.leader.rebalance.enable for the new whichever old leader comes back online, right? It has to give up its leadership. For that, we need to have the setting enabled.
Split brain link, there is clear link. What's split brain and how to avoid it?
I think that I have added in the chat.
Okay.
This one. You will convert this into PDF, right?
Yeah, okay. You have sent it now again?
Yeah, I will send it at the end of the session.
Okay. I already converted two. Which ones were I couldn't?
So, Keeper, there is direct relationship between fault tolerance and performance of cluster. Justify or invalidate. I'm seeing incorrect in some and correct in some. See, there is
fault tolerant and performance cluster.
sure how much we can rely on. This site has the same question, but not sure how much we can rely on it.
Let's go. We will see, then we will apply our brain also. Valid. Zookeeper
Here what they are telling is if one node fails, it can go down. So if we don't have the fault tolerance, right, the performance will be impacted. It is also correct to leave.
They have mentioned direct connected. Is it also mentioned in the website question as well? Direct connected. Let me see that.
Is that direct connected?
In the question they are saying that this zookeeper is directly connected. So specifically they have mentioned direct.
There is a direct relationship
Between this. And can you go back to the web page? Question over there. This is the answer, please. I want to see the question over there. Because I will, if what I am thinking is correct, then I will try to explain that.
The same question.
It is directly okay. This is the same question. with the zookeeper there is direct relationship between fault or the performance of cluster. Correct hai. Yes. This statement is true. Why? Because that's the role of zookeeper. So what happens is
what does zookeeper do?
The zookeeper is the guy who just have information of your cluster metadata, I can say in very layman terms. So that means it has the information, where is your master node, where is your worker nodes, what inside worker nodes and how many replicas and everything. That information will be available at master node, but where is the master node, that information would be available to zookeeper. So to make your data available, you maintain your distributed environment, but consider the situation when your cluster itself went down or went on toss. So then who help you? So to protect your cluster, here there is no concern of data, or how we can protect our cluster distributed environment. For that we have this zookeeper. The zookeeper, the beauty of this zookeeper is that it's very lightweight in nature, so they consume resources on your system. Second thing is that one limitation, or I won't say it's limitation, people mention it's a limitation, the information which zookeeper store, that is I think called jet something, sorry, zookeeper, that node, I think they call it J node, but let's not go over there. But the zookeeper store the info, what people say is that it is the limitation of zookeeper, that it can store around some MB or bytes of data, very small data. But the purpose of the zookeeper is not to store so much information. The use case or purpose of zookeeper is to store only master node cluster metadata. So whatever data it can store, it's capable to do the job. So from what you can understand, like, so this zoo, in zoo there are so many animals and birds, but in a inventory, some index available there, it is maintaining okay on which CAG or CAS, which bird or animal is available. So that kind of information just maintain. That is the role of zookeeper. So once you have zookeeper, then your fault tolerance will be more stronger, and if your fault tolerance is stronger, your system there is no fault, then obviously your performance will be always high. And this is what this the statement they mention in the question. It's valid or not? So yes, it's valid. Pin drop silence.
Let everyone take some time to digest. But it's good explanation. Yeah, it takes care of all the coordination among the nodes in a distributed environment.
Yes.
Like what are the nodes available, which are nodes down, all the synchronization, notification, even the leader node selection also, it takes care of that algorithm, right? It's involved.
I'm not sure about the leader selection, but
it assists in electing the leader node from the group of eligible. It runs through that algorithm. Even the locking and synchronization also, like access control also, right? It provides centralized configuration management system, configuration management also. So it actually it holds all the different nodes all together. We can say coordination among all the nodes and
Yeah.
Proceed, right?
And very few, solutions support this zookeeper yet. Not everyone, like every distributed, it's not like we can implement zookeeper in every distributed environment. The day I listen about it, I immediately, because I am working as a OpenShift SME, so I thought, can we use it in OpenShift with the OpenShift? So no, there was nothing available related to it.
But this the Zookeeper, we cannot install Kafka without installing Zookeeper. This is I am reading on the web page.
But the answer says that it is incorrect.
And this seems to be wrong. This is PDF. I am not able to edit it.
This is statement.
But this is the answer provided by team.
Provided by whom?
Makeup answers.
This is in the
It will be
blog.
So actually, I kind of agree with Rakesh and Veena just said, because I also think that this is incorrect. I mean, this answer is incorrect. There is a direct relationship. There is a direct relationship between fault tolerance and performance of cluster, because in any of the environment, be it anything, how fault tolerant you are, performance of your cluster would be good.
Yeah,
in general,
agree.
In general.
Yes.
So with Zookeeper, it is just that Zookeeper is just like as the name suggests, it's a keeper of the zoo, right? So it's something like Rakesh said, it's a keeper of the zoo. So it will like know who is there, who is sleeping, who is going to get some food right now, or whose water drinking time is there, or the zoo. I mean, how the keeper would manage the zoo. Just imagine, right? So the zookeeper actually notes that, okay, this node is going down, this node is sleeping for now. I don't want to send the request to this node. This node is what you call, this node is up. This node has just come up in my zoo. So I want to take care of this. I would send the request to this. So I mean, I would keep a health check. So what Zookeeper basically does is, it has a background job. So how does it know whether a node is up or down? It keeps sending a health message, simple health message there.
Yeah.
Okay? So so it gets to know that, okay, this node is up. So that's the whole scenario. So I completely agree with what Rakesh and Veena said. I'm just reiterating it.
Okay, we can write something. Yes or no, we can write. I think both we can write.
No, only one. Let's go with
we cannot write both. Say one with justification.
Statement is.
Yeah, what I'm saying is to avoid plagiarism, 50% of us can write incorrect. And
when this question comes, Manoj will write for incorrect.
I will toss and write whatever
So the staff will decide who is right or
Yeah,
not.
I think both are correct.
I think let's move on. This is a
doesn't
theoretical
seems to
question,
be.
Yeah, yeah, we can
Yeah, this is
move
the
on.
theoretical question. I think we can also check in the background, like later
Yes,
on.
yes, you're right. Yeah. Let's move on. Yeah.
No, one thing you can, if you want to prove this statement wrong, that too you can try. Whenever the more number of, the more number of tools or platforms, not platforms, but the more complex your architect, the more difficult it is to manage. So that way you can prove it as incorrect.
Yeah, we can take a stand. I think both case it is. We can make
Yeah.
a argument on that. Yeah.
Yes.
Has any idea this solution was given by bits or it's from our team?
I don't think our
It's
team
bits,
is.
right?
It should be bits only.
So
Yeah.
if a TS will check and correct our for this, or we need to correct it.
Or what we can do is we can put this question as a discussion and then let's everyone post over there.
Yeah, that's the right. Yeah.
And let TA also get answer this.
Yeah, but yeah, at least on the WhatsApp you can post it and ask Pratiksha and some people are saying no, Logu, Mohit Jain.
I don't
Can we-
respond on WhatsApps.
Can we check what ChatGPT has to say?
Okay. Yes. ChatGPT, Bart. Also we can try.
I think we should move forward.
Yeah, right. We should
Yeah,
move
we-
forward. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a toxic girlfriend. We should move out.
Yeah. Somebody, okay, just post this in this chat and somebody will search it in background. Yeah. We can move it forward.
Why checkpointing is a bad choice for implementing fault tolerance in streaming system.
Yeah, what I understand from the checkpoint now, why we do checkpoint in case of fault, like a fault tolerance, they said, right? If something fails, and when after the failure, when we recover, what we try to do is we'll find the last checkpoint, right? So till that last checkpoint, we have the saved, our work is saved. So after the checkpoint, everything will be lost. So this is one way that, right, to have a recovery, right, from the failures. And also I believe that when we do the checkpoint, it's a overhead to the system also, because it has to uh, do the checkpoint, save the state and data to the disk. So that is an additional time or like that. So the performance will be, the more number of checkpoints, the performance will be degraded. But on the contrary, if we have such parameter or options like replication factor, so system will automatically take care of that one. So that's the reason I believe that is not a easy option, I mean, possible or a suggested option to choose checkpointing. Instead, having the replication factor like 2 or 3 is a good option. Any thoughts?
Yeah, for streaming, there's no point in going back to some point, right? Maybe that's the reason.
Yeah, because streaming, yeah, it's like you expect like a kind of near real time results, and if you have the checkpointing, it will also impact your performance, right? Because it has to do the checkpointing on a periodically, right?
But does everyone know what is checkpointing?
Yeah, so if someone want to know what is checkpoint, then the simple in very layman terms, let's say you have a text file which you have edited in afternoon, and after that you have also edited in evening. So your data has been, that file access time and updation, these things has been changed. So those thing is maintained in checkpoint. So if you will check the what exactly say, mm, mm, I'm not getting exact technical word for this, but yeah, if you want to check कि उसको किसी ने छेड़ा है I mean to say that uh, let's say you have a very critical file where you have stored all the passwords. So when you access that password, you just like decrypt it, put a password, and read the file, and that's it. But
I can
behind,
explain.
okay,
Okay,
go
sorry, go
ahead.
ahead. Checkpoint in terms of databases. So in case of database, what happens? Whenever we fire a commit, then transaction gets logged, means redo log is generated.
Perfect,
Uh,
perfect, perfect,
Perfect.
perfect, perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
Abhi,
it
what
keeps
is
on accumulating, and at a checkpoint, it writes to the table itself. Otherwise, it remains in the memory.
so essentially a checkpoint is the state of computation.
State of, yeah,
Okay.
correct.
Yeah. So
Yes.
you are
So,
you are storing
mm,
you are storing the state. Sorry, I want to take the
yeah,
lead
please
here.
go ahead. Please go ahead.
So the state of computation is like you have a particular stream that is going on. Now you want to save this particular state where this stream has gone up to, and now you want to
Right.
save this particular state, be it in
And there
database,
are
be it
rules. Yeah, and there are rules when the checkpoint should happen. Okay.
uh, so what will happen is, like, be it database, be it distributed system, be it anything, remember that the checkpoint is something which is like saving the state of a machine. Like, what happens, like, in the machine flow, you must have read into your engineerings the state of machine diagram, right? So there is a checkpoint. All those states are the checkpoints. So that is the check. Okay. So
And it's a
essentially checkpointing in distributed system, how does it take care that how do we save the state? I mean, in general, is that uh, the whole thing, that is like the whole state, like the whole data gets copied into something else, somewhere else, and a different node is created. Now, when this node is created, this is going to take an extra amount of time, extra amount of space, and this is going to take extra amount of bandwidth. So what was the question here? Checkpointing. So can you go back to the question, please? Whoever is
how
sharing the slide.
checkpoint, how the checkpoint is a bad idea in fault tolerance.
Yeah,
No, in
because
streaming solutions.
because because yeah. So what happens is, this is going to consume your bandwidth, your storage, your everything. This particular system is going to consume all these things because it is now checkpointing. You
Yes,
should
and
not be having the checkpointing.
checkpointing is
So
a heavy operation.
so you should be understanding here that there are two kind of systems, right? There is high availability, there is fault tolerant. In the streaming system, yeah, the practice is to have the high availability rather than the fault tolerant system. Okay, there can be, your video can be hazy, but the video should be keep going. Okay, so if it is hazy, that means you are not that fault tolerant, but it has to keep going. It has to provide you the data at all times. So that is a high availability. Okay, so this high availability means that your data is like, I mean, you do not want to store, I mean, you do not want to use this bandwidth to store your data somewhere else at regular intervals, because this is going to consume your power, your bandwidth, your everything. So you should not be having that. So therefore, it's a bad idea.
Can we compare checkpoint to tagging in the Git world?
No.
Okay.
No, checkpointing is to, as it's
Checkpoint.
mentioned, no. Yeah, go on.
So what happens is that tagging in the in what you're talking about is the Git, right? Git repo.
Yes, yes.
Tagging in Git, right?
Yeah.
So so essentially it is like that, but it is lot more than that. So checkpoint is having a lot of like, how would you tag in Git repository? You would just create a tag, right? You would just right click and you would create a tag. It has not stored your data somewhere. It is just like when you hit that tag again, when you want to go to that tag again, it is going to go back to all those commits. Okay, so it will create a checkpoint. Then it will not create a checkpoint when the tag is created. It will create a checkpoint when you hit that tag. Okay, so in the streaming world, although the checkpoint is as and when it is there, it has come there, like as and when the checkpoint, as and when the state has to be saved. So it is not a tag. Tag is a reverse of that actually.
Okay.
Hmm.
Checkpoint is a process, tag is a mark.
Perfect. Perfect.
Okay.
अरे कहाँ गए सब?
You have to drop a
भाई
pin now.
हर भाई एक क्वेश्चन होने के बाद में क्या है, उसको डाइजेस्ट करने के लिए थोड़ा सा ब्रेक.
अरे
No, I
आगे
think
बढ़ो यार. Go ahead.
theory questions, I think we can move fast so that we can cover the more numerical problems. Because theory questions we can also try to search in the book and all.
वो हो जाएगा actually. Theory, he is right. Theories can be just read and just decided upon that only. But numerical is something which everyone should be knowing about. And I came especially for numericals. Rakesh, Veena, you need to teach.
But in
There is
SPA,
numerical
man,
everywhere, Manoj. There is numerical everywhere.
Numerical?
no numeric. Gotati mentioned, people said that in lecture he mentioned that there no numerical, everything is scenario based.
So discuss the case
Yes,
studies maybe.
all
Discuss the case studies.
case
Discuss the case
studies
studies
and
that
this kind
and the
of.
diagrams.
I think we can discuss this question also, but I think let's limit our
Draw a
time to
block
discuss
diagram.
so we can cover
Draw
more
a
on the scenario
this
questions.
one view.
Scroll down, please. Scroll down.
We need to
Veena,
write all these.
little bit.
Identification of sources, channels, and one mark. Configuration of.
No, Manoj,
Yeah,
actually the
yeah,
question is
Manoj.
shown, she's hiding the answer. So which is okay, right? So we are just seeing the question, I think, which is good. Let's not go to the answer directly, otherwise no, it will influence our answer as well.
And, my screen is not visible.
No, don't show the answer, Veena, then better. Just show till the question. Otherwise, no, it will definitely influence our answer.
Yes.
He is right.
Okay, let's go through this.
Oh, I saw some answer
Draw a
there.
block diagram and provide a suitable configuration details. But I'm audible, right?
Yeah, you're
Fume
audible.
is Flume
Yeah,
is
Okay.
Apache Kafka ka bhai, which do batch processing.
The organization has two different systems running critical
So
operational
so Manoj,
and
sorry, uh, Manoj, Manoj.
yeah, I
So
think that will be
Flume,
better.
yeah, Flume is hello. Am I audible?
Yeah, go ahead.
So Flume is nothing but it's similar to Kafka, but Flume is something which is in Hadoop world. It is specific to Hadoop. Okay. So it is just similar to Kafka. It is although less highly available, less fault tolerant, and a bad brother of Kafka. That's it. But it is generally used. I mean, in Hadoop world, Flume is used because it is very much compatible with Hadoop. Yeah.
So there are two tools used to ingest data from the sources. Okay, like one is Scoop and one is Flume. Scoop is used to ingest when the source is structural, but for the unstructural sources or the data, the Flume is used.
Good. Veena, can we just type it there? There is one T mark, no? That just what they have said.
So Flume is a data ingester.
Yeah.
Okay, otherwise I will type it from my side. Okay.
So in your like application, right? You want to bring the data in your application from some sources, right? Now, if the source is suppose RDB like Oracle like that, you would go with the Scoop instead of Flume. But Flume is mostly used to get data like unstructured data.
Ingest it into where?
Yeah, and now the question is ingested to where, right? Suppose you have an application which is batch processing, right? So you get the data and ingest. You are a storage layer, some kind of a storage you have, right?
Okay.
You get the data in there. Yeah.
So it ingests into the data pipeline.
Depending on your application. Just to get into your application from the source, first thing is to bring the data into the application.
So in that sense, it is completely different from Kafka, right?
Yes, it is different. Very,
Kafka is for
very,
streaming data.
yeah, and that is for batch processing. The first difference is.
I didn't get you.
So the Flume is for batch processing.
Okay.
Kafka is, people say it's a stream processing, but it
So
can do batch processing also.
also
But
right.
but it's very bad into batch processing. So it's a
Okay.
best in the market
For real
for
time
stream.
streaming.
Yes.
Okay, so Flume and we compare with the Scoop, right?
Yeah. They are like both ingestion tools.
Yeah, Flume and Scoop, someone described that one is for structured and there is for unstructured data. Scoop is for structured data and Flume is for unstructured data, right?
Yes. Yeah. Veena, can you show the question again? I'm thinking, I'm just planning to draw a diagram. I mean, the others also can try.
Steps running critical operation of and providing the log in Avro and Drift format. It also has a system for monitoring the usage of different ports. All these log data need to be stored in HDFS so that afterwards some meaningful analysis can be done on top of that.
Difference between
Also,
Apache
they need
Kafka
to
and Apache Flume.
have a facility that will allow them to
Apache
quickly
Kafka is
search
designed
the
for
log data.
ingesting and processing real-time data, where Apache Flume is designed to collect and aggregate large moving log data.
So here we know there are two different sources, right? One and both are sharing, I mean, both are sending data like a log data. One is in Avro form, second is the TRIP form, right? we have to use the Flume to get data in our application. Now, also they have given we have to store this is in HDFS, right?
There is
And then from the
additional log also, monitoring log also we need to store.
it also has a system for monitoring the usage of the different ports. Hmm.
So basically, they are talking about ports monitoring. So in the last line, they are trying to say quickly search the log data. So that means this Flume is also, ETL transformation. So we can do transformation also. And because of that, data is available in some structure. And because of that, we can quickly search it.
And that is also available, means it's not limited to log data only.
Okay, so what are the analysis tools in Hadoop? Like if you want to search the log data, what is the tool that you can use from Hadoop? Hadoop what?
Avro
Big
is
data analysis.
relational, right? It is column based storage, right? Avro.
Avro is row based.
Avro is row
Based
based.
storage.
Row
And
based.
Drift.
Drift need to check whether it is row or columnar.
And also they have mentioned here about searching of the data, right? So after getting the data on HDFS, the raw data, and say we do some processing, and then we store in some other layer. So after that, the process data, the curated one, we should have a capability to search into that log data. So Hadoop gives some tools like Solar and Lucene, right? That we can use that will help us to add this
That's what I
functionality
was
like
asking.
searching.
Scroll down,
So
no.
Elasticsearch is there, right? We can leverage Elasticsearch.
No, Elasticsearch. I don't think it is with Hadoop. It is for AWS.
So
I have
But
drawn
could
why?
be associated. It should be associated with any database, right?
It's a open
I
source.
don't think so.
Elasticsearch is a open source.
Elasticsearch is open source, yeah? I don't know.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Any tool which has a searching capability we can use, right? Yeah.
But generally we use
HDFS
the
sync it is using
Postgres.
a scroll down. Scroll down.
Sorry. Generally, Elastic are used with Postgres.
Scroll down, no?
Postgres is a
HDFS sync.
relational database. What's the point of having? Because you can query things.
HDFS sync means
So it's
It
just
is file log, file storage.
logging system.
but there should be some name, right? HDFS is though it is storage, but it says more about file system rather than name of the storage.
No, what I
For example,
so in
Elasticsearch is actually a sync, but HDFS there should be some name, right?
Yeah, it's in Hadoop. We store the data in HDFS.
Yeah,
yeah.
got it. So there is not okay. HDFS only. You have to say
So
okay.
sync is the target, right? So
Right. Sync
Flume
is
pulls the
target.
data from the source. See, there are three different sources, right?
Yeah.
First has a Avro data format source, second Thrift, and the other ports like a syslog, right? So they have three circles. Mm, for this data, when the Flume gets the data from this, so it stores into HDFS. So as a target HDFS, I think they should show like HDFS as sync.
The Elasticsearch would be in memory, right? And HDFS is on disk.
Correct.
Elasticsearch sits on top of a database where you can actually make some queries. So
Yeah,
I mean,
Elasticsearch itself works as a database. Elasticsearch or OpenSearch.
It's not on the HDFS, right, Siddharth? Or
so we so
Elasticsearch is not an SDFS.
so since they have given the sync here, like right, the Flume gets data and put into HDFS as given in the question, and then considering this HDFS data, right? So we also have the tools like Lucene or right Solar we can use right to search to add the search capability. Otherwise, we have to add one more layer to some database on top of the HDFS, and then to have this Elasticsearch uh, capability on that one, right?
What does RESTful search mean?
Through the API calls. Through the API calls is
Okay. Elasticsearch is a distributed RESTful search engine.
Someone shared the
Yeah.
picture also in the chat window.
So you query, I mean, basically you send a query and they will give you the response. It's a server. Think of it like that. So you build query means you build something. They have some patterns, and you just ask them the question, the server, and it'll respond you with the data.
It looks like the Flume architecture. It has the source and the target as the sink, right? That's where they put HDFS. Even someone shared the similar diagram of this architecture. Flume agent.
Yeah,
But
I
I
think
wonder,
it
I
has
mean, all
different
these sources,
components, source and sync.
all these have been taught in the class. Actually, I missed few lectures. I'm not sure.
I do not remember whether it was taught.
Probably in the class, no. I haven't also gone through all the lectures, but definitely they would have just given a very high level, not in detail level like this.
Okay.
I'm happy that I'm not the only one who has gone through, not studied, gone through all the lectures.
Even
Yeah, I'm
PPT
still.
is also right. It's all 100 feet.
Yeah.
So it is like common thing in bits. Like they would not just in bits. Like they would ask you. I mean, they would teach you 2 cross 2 is 4, and they would give you an exam like 213 into 511. So those kind of things are always
नहीं भाई वो मल्टीप्लिकेशन तक तो फिर भी ठीक है, डिजिट चाहे जो हो, बट दे विल गिव यू 2 + 2 - 3 देन मल्टीप्लाई देन डिवाइड
That's
देन पता नहीं.
straightforward. Yes.
My God.
Let's
So
not deviate from the track then. Let's continue on the problem.
yeah.
Yeah, I think this block diagram similar like we have to write make some diagram to show the sources. So the Flume agent is at the center with channel, right? Left hand side on the source
What
and
is a
right hand
channel?
side.
Sorry.
I mean, I don't know the Flume market completely, but I understand the way it processes, the pulls data from the source and dumps to HDF. I mean, sync, like an intermediate step.
Okay. Flume channel, types of channels in Flume. Okay. Depends.
Ping some diagram or data sources, the stream data. Yeah, this is Flume. Destination can be anything. Here we have HDFS. It's a generic, right? They have given generic, yeah.
Correct. Generic.
So on the source side, we have to just show the three sources because of the question. They have given three sources, right? We have to show that way. And the target also we have to show on the right hand side HDFS as a sink. And I assume that we should also show some tool which is showing that search option. They might be expected.
Some ETL tool consider this as like talent or Informatica like that one tool which will fetch the log file and store it into HDFS. Thing I'm not sure is whether Flume has the capability to store data. No, right? It will just transfer the data.
I haven't used Flume actually. Kafka, I understand. Similar product is AMS, which I have used. Never used Flume. It looks like more of a streaming system, something like that. So where you can manage the data or something.
I shared one link from IntelliPad. It says it has transient store unless it is consumed by the target.
Yeah, so that is the question actually. What is the capacity of that transient store? For example, in Kinesis, we read that Kinesis streams can store data from 1 to 365 days in transit, right? It is not permanent store, but it can store up to 365 days as per configuration. So according to that, what about the Flume?
This all has.
I think if you go to the tutorials point, they have some details.
Which one?
Tutorialspoint.com.
As per architecture, it is just processes only, no storage.
Yes.
It delivers to the target, takes from web servers, and its target is HDFS.
Yes. I think you're on the index page. Okay, I'll give you the link. Yeah, that's the one, I guess. Just ping you the link.
So they are just giving the topic name and just telling very high level, but there is a lot to uncover of that topic, right? Or architecture and all.
So this is where they're saying that if you want to persist some interest data into a bigger data system like Hadoop, you can use it. It's more of a streaming application. It looks like where you can stream the data where all the enrichments happen.
Because Flume is used to data like a pull the unstructured data, right? That way.
Yes. Raw data can be fulfilled into Plume and then it could be enriched and stored in the SDFS.
Is this correct? Because from the Flume agent, they have a memory, and from there it will get loaded to HDFS sync.
I think Flume itself
Velas,
have the channel, right? So the Flume channel possibly.
correct, correct.
Yeah.
But this elastic search will be from that channel.
Uh, See, when we see the actual architecture diagram, they build real-time views, right? And from where you can query the data. So
Okay.
if I see the initial diagram of the batch processing and the real-time processing, they build those views for querying the data. Elasticsearch, I'm still curious where it actually work, but mostly it's in the file store only, because what we used to do is we used to give them the log files and they build the database, and then they used to give us the API to the search, and that was Elasticsearch APIs where I worked.
Okay. And then how we will write all these?
I don't think so. They're expecting that. So there's
The,
possibly one question will be there to distort,
Mhm.
push you back.
For diagram, 2 marks. Identifying source channel and saying it is 1 mark. Then we have 3 mark for this configuration.
Hmm. Did they ask for the configuration in the question?
I think it's a 6 mark
There in
question.
the
Can you little scroll up? I think it's 2 plus 4, something like that. No, 6 marks question. Yeah. Probably we would like to explore, explain each box in that diagram.
I think this naming standard and all is fine. We can put any name. Source 1, source 2, source 3 also should work, I believe.
These similar questions were there in the this quiz. I can remember.
If you go to in the Eden
They
portal,
have actually done that, added it.
in the webinar they have covered this part. In the Eden portal, I'm not able to share in this chat. Somehow it's restricting.
Yes, yes,
If you
yes.
can go to
So
that
there's only
webinar.
three things, right? Source, channel, sync, I guess, which you
Exactly.
can specify there, and it's more of a chain system that you can add.
From here we can copy paste, right? This is in our PPT.
Okay, yeah.
Which lecture is this one?
In merged PPTs, page 174.
Probably the last one.
Last one.
Because the page it shows 174 of 176.
Is the Kafka is the last one? I thought the Kafka is the last
Flume.
one.
This Flume is covered as webinar. Sure.
Okay. I don't have the webinar sheets. Okay.
It has some, we just need to compare and see.
Then I think there were two webinar of SPA because first webinar they covered Kinesis and all Amazon services, and then they covered this Flume. Is it? But in one webinar only they have covered both Kinesis
And
and
where are the PPTs of these webinar stored?
not sure.
Because I
I
can't
found them
go.
on.
Second webinar was cancelled, mentioning he is unwell. Not sure whether it happened.
Yeah, when I do remember that.
So what was the question on this like coding configuration related? I have seen.
Okay, I think
What they want us to do with what is that?
We have
Need
to,
to
based on the
mention
question,
source.
yeah, based on the question, we have to write the configurations then. Like here, we have the one source is Avro, right? Second is the thrift, and third is just logs, right? That's how they made in the green, first green, three things.
God.
Then Then to show the sync as well, like HDFS, and then the search type, that sync Elasticsearch. I
Yeah.
think we have to keep this kind of one type, this kind of example handy. So based on the question what they ask, we have to change it according.
विजुअल स्टूडियो के जमाने में कौन ये सब याद रखता है यार?
And since we are going through this question paper, right, we know where to go and check. Hopefully, same type will come.
Okay, we can move on, right?
Amazing.
Imagine that you are building a real-time traffic routing system. Identify and justify the communication mechanism used while making data available to the external world in the following use cases. People driving around any city can use mobile application to get updates and be rerouted based on up to the
Traffic
month.
condition. So that means
Traffic condition.
streaming solution. That means
The user will post the interest
real
for
time.
particular.
This is
Yeah.
Oh, it's also 6 marks question, right? I think they
two
also
two two
expect us.
Two to
Yeah,
two marks,
like
3
two
marks.
two
2 to 2.
two.
Yeah,
Mm.
they might also expect us to draw some block diagram to show what kind of architecture they are
It's the
expecting, right?
communication mechanism they're asking.
So communication mechanism here could be, you know, the data. First thing first, how uh, people driving the city updates mobile application. City can get mobile update rerouting, but who will provide the data? People
So
driving.
what are the different types of communication mechanism we have? Let's think about
So
that.
communication one could be your you can send SNS service, right? You can use to send message
No,
that
I
you know
think
on this.
there's a PPT on that. I remember the communication mechanism, HTTPS, yeah, something like that. And all this. No, not this one. Let me check. Yes, a PPT.
Have it handy.
So here also we're expecting a real-time solution, right? To
Yes, I
respond
mean
back to the user.
there are four communication patterns: data sync, RMI, messaging, and PubSub, and 3 protocols: webhooks, HTTP long polling, and WebSocket.
Can you
I
share?
think
So in first use case, I'm thinking the SMS would be the best communication medium here.
can I see my screen?
Yes.
I think this is something delivering the data.
Data sync, RPC. What is the full form of this RPC, RMI?
RMS, I think a remote method interface, something like that. Remote
Messaging.
process call.
RPC is remote procedural call.
Yeah, basically you're calling some remote functions, which is sitting on some other machine.
In
Veena,
first
that
use
was
case, that user should get automatic update that the path you are
So
going,
user,
that is.
so basically WebSocket is like channel which is a more of a TCP. You open something like the channel to pass the message from to and fro.
Yeah.
Webhook is
auto trigger something.
Is something like auto trigger, is where the server makes the call, right? Server send the, you register your function on the server side, and then they, based on the updates, they make the call.
Yeah.
On HTTP, long polling is actually from the client side, where you keep polling the server multiple times for updates. You keep calling. It look like.
So when people will be driving that, in that situation, they won't be doing this HTTP long polling and all.
Because the moment there is a update in the traffic, it should be to notified that time, because polling could have some time interval.
Yeah.
Say, right, the time
5 minutes
interval
or
could be
so.
right. So he may lose that. So the moment you get update, you should be notified. So that's why webhooks possibly could be the right option.
No, they are asking for not protocol. They are asking for communication pattern. If you can see the question.
Then it should be RMI, right? Not RMI. Yeah, I could.
Messaging.
Did
Messaging coming into my mind. I don't know why.
Answer mentioned is webhooks.
Webhooks. Am I correct?
RPC RPI is the
But
reasonable
then
choice, right?
is in question the protocol is also mentioned because they are interested in communication pattern, not protocol. Webhook is protocol.
Communication. What's better? Communication mechanism.
Communication mechanism. Delivering the data. Okay. So communication pattern this could be, and I don't know.
What is the answer? What is the second question? What is the first answer? It's just the
First
webhooks
is
or something else?
webhooks.
Only
The
webhooks.
reason they are telling is user registers the interest and the application sends back the data to mobile application.
Okay. What?
Second question is police department wants to host web application that has a real-time dashboard which continuously shows traffic condition at several points in city
That will
and
be
take
long polling,
appropriate.
right?
That is there something called SSE?
What is SSC?
Server send events.
Server is sending events.
Can you
That
go
is not.
next slide because there are some on the next slide also.
No, there's nothing. They're just describing
Is
everything.
this
Okay.
taken in our class? I'm not seeing this PPT at all.
I don't remember.
If you go to the lectures, the last, sorry, the modules. If you see the last one, remaining architecture components.
Oh, okay.
You get this. I don't know where is this the webinar slides.
Go back one step.
Actually, this is webinar.
Yeah.
I got it. Okay. Okay. I'll get going with this one also. Missed it. And then it's fine. They can ask questions related to that.
Yeah.
We should have slides.
So we'll go through Flume as well then.
See, I'm not sure why they are specific to Amazon, because some product in Amazon could be a different product in Azure, could be a different product name in Google Cloud.
Because they mentioned the reason I joined this webinar there, they mentioned that we want at least you get, because nowadays cloud is, primary something.
Right.
So you at least understand one cloud. Once you know one, then switching is not a big deal. So that was the idea.
Yeah, actually, all the methodologies or frameworks used, those are same. For example, Azure and AWS both will have one data warehousing database, and moreover, entire working is similar.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, somebody could answer working on Azure, they will possibly answers from Azure. Yes.
Yeah, and he will hate a lot then the AWS name. Why not
Problem with
Azure?
AWS, I saw their documentation is so much marketing style. I I do not understand what they want to say. While Microsoft has better documentation, much better.
But AWS products are better, believe me.
Yeah, that's true, no doubt. And one more thing, actually, comparatively, AWS cloud means, like the biscuit means Parleji. So like cloud means AWS is by default.
But Azure is picking up actually.
No, yeah, there's no. Well, I'm using Azure, so
I'm
it's,
At
using
the
it may
end
be
of the
picking
AWS
up,
day,
actually.
but
who gave better deal, companies will move to that.
Yeah,
so the Amazon is expensive, but Azure says
see,
it's not
they
expensive, but you register for some application, some products, and at same time they add on multiple things, showing dependency, and then eventually the cost is very high.
and
Oh,
actually how they are, very very big market. Yeah, guys. So like I'm working for three different customers, and one we are working in AWS, another Azure, and another in IBM. They are using their own IBM cloud.
Yeah, IBM Cloud is there.
So how IBM is selling their cloud is that one service they are giving, like if you use our cloud, then this is something free of cost for you. So that's
Hmm.
how they are converting customer. Otherwise, everyone know like I'm OpenShift SME, so OpenShift is great on AWS Roja.
Mhm.
what is OpenShift? OpenShift?
Container orchestration tool in very simple
Okay,
terms.
okay.
Kubernetes,
Yeah, the one
Docker containers.
background engine is Kubernetes only. On top of it, Reddit made their own UI, and yeah, they made it enterprise application, which is available on almost every famous cloud now as a managed service.
Thanks for getting that. I haven't gone through this.
Some nodes left for the day.
Silently,
No, no. Nose is there. I didn't hear his voice since long time, so thought
you are missing him.
not like that. Just came in mind.
But one thing I noticed is our combined slide deck is not full.
Not full. Ah,
Which slide?
This 176 page one
merged,
is merged one.
merged slide. Yeah.
Okay,
So the
I
Veena.
don't refer to the merge slide because what happens? I've found that some sites become blank where the users they have written something or something like that. What I've felt even in the
Veena,
previous.
it seems like something you have missed because total number of slides around 400 or 350. Let me check in
This
my
is
the
this is the
day
total number
guides.
of slides which I've got, including everything. So total number of PPTs is 28,
28,
including
okay.
including this questions. Sorry, it will be less, and then there's a few text in this lab, so it will be 25, I guess.
So what are the numerical topics here?
SPA no numeric.